ask, who are they really
SinfamouGamer is now
protecting?
live. Streaming download the best SinfamouGamer.
Here's the scene. You're driving. It's late and the road ahead is dark. You make a turn and then another. You finally realize you're lost. If this were the not-too-distant past, you'd pull over and grab your Thomas guide.
Yeah, for you kids, that's a map.
And if you didn't have a map, you'd try to find a gas station or 7-Eleven to ask for directions. Then your fate would be in the hands of the guy working the night shift.
Who may or may not be a serial killer.
Right. But now, all the answers are in your pocket. You tell your phone the address and GPS guides the way. Some cars will even drive for you while you sit back, relax, and listen to your favorite podcast.
Oh, you know, the White Files is also a podcast.
No plugs yet, please. We save those for the end.
Sorry. I could sniff out a plug opportunity like a travel pig.
The technology I described that got you to your destination, it was created by DARPA. All of it. And there's a lot more of DARPA in your pocket than you think. Your cell phone uses microprocessors designed by DARPA. They also created the batteries to power those microprocessors. Your phone uses wireless technology made possible by DARPA. The touch screen and the microphone came from DARPA. Voice recognition and GPS come from DARPA. And of course, all this data transfer happens using the internet, which was created by DARPA.
By DARPA.
Excuse me if I may.
This is going to be a highly predictable and hack joke about how Al Gore said he created the internet.
I yield the rest of my time, thank you.
Yes, DARPA created the internet. Well, technically, they were still ARPA then. Remember, the D was added in 1972. In the 1960s, researchers were trying to figure out a way to ensure reliable communications in case of a nuclear attack. Traditional telephone lines and radio transmitters would be the first to go. They came up with a radical idea: packet switching.
Not all of us speak nerd. Some of us went to a prom instead of staying home to write code on our Apple II.
Packet switching is not as complicated as it sounds. Here's how it works. You want to send a message or file from New York to LA, but what if half the country's lines are down? So you break that message into small chunks called packets and send each one independently over the network. On the receiving end, the message waits for all the packets to arrive and then reassembles them back into the original message or file. Each packet will independently try to find the most efficient route through the network at any given moment. The internet still works this way. Most people didn't use the internet until the late 1990s or early 2000s.
No, you can't have ding-dongs.
Our phones to dial bulletin board systems in the late 1970s and early 80s. But this new network called ARPANET was conceived in 1966.
Whoa. You were online all the way back then? When you were like 12 or 13 years old?
Yep. I was even younger than that when I first got online.
And you're proud of this?
Well, yeah, shouldn't I?
Did you even know girls existed?
Yes, I knew they existed.
God, now I see.
What?
Girls didn't know you existed.
I was a late bloomer.
Bloomer? What'd I say?
Under DARPA's guidance, TCP/IP became the universal language for online computers. They also developed the concept of email and invented domain names. DARPA worked with UC Berkeley to create the BSD Unix operating system. BSD Unix heavily influenced the operating system you're using right now, no matter what OS it is. It started with DARPA. Now, these technologies may seem modern, but DARPA sent the first internet message in 1969. Now, this shouldn't be surprising. DARPA technology is said to be about 20 years ahead of civilian tech. Like self-driving
Attract a
cars.
beast to a train tunnel.
DARPA built one
It's
in
not a volatile.
1984.
It's smarter,
DARPA had
faster,
GPS in
stronger.
1973.
It attacks in broad daylight.
Microprocessors, motion
It
sensors,
had
and
me.
wireless
Could have
communication.
killed me, but it didn't.
DARPA had these
It escaped when an explosion
but
collapsed the
eventually
tunnel.
these innovations became
For
available
now,
to
the town
rest
hall's
of us.
safe.
DARPA's technology has made our lives so much better, it's easy to forget that those innovations weren't originally meant to improve lives. They were meant to end them. It's the middle of the night, and you're lying prone on top of a dusty building in some far corner of the world. You hug your .50 caliber Barrett sniper rifle. It's pitch dark, But your light-gathering, high-magnification scope gives you full visibility of the alley 1,200 yards away. A door opens. It's your target. Right on schedule. You hold your breath and put your finger on the trigger. Suddenly, a van appears. Your target leaps in and speeds off. Years ago, he'd escaped. Mission failed. Not now. You fire, confident in DARPA's latest innovation, a self-guided bullet. With optical sensors and real-time guidance, it maneuvers mid-flight, locked onto its target. Skilled snipers engage targets up to 1,300 yards away or more. The farthest confirmed kill, 2.2 miles by Canadian Special Forces in 2017. Impressive, but DARPA's Extreme Accuracy Tasked Ordnance, or Exacto bullet, hits targets 5 or 6 miles away. Maybe farther. DARPA keeps the details a secret. Many DARPA projects seem like science fiction, some like magic. Scepter lets you see through walls. The Mojave Project bends light, making objects invisible. DARPA's Engineering Living Materials program uses living fungus as a construction material. Structures will no longer be built, they'll be grown.
Instead of shipping finished materials, we can ship precursors and rapidly grow them on site using local resources. Since the materials will be alive, they'll be able to respond to changes in their environment and heal themselves in response to damage.
DARPA likes fungus, but it loves bugs. Project Insect Allies modifies flying insects to attack crops. These insects resist disease and repair each other's injuries in the field. Then there's the Hybrid Insect Microelectrical Mechanical Systems, or HIMEMS. This project, along with Project Dragonfly, creates miniature flying cyborgs. Beetles, moths, and dragonflies become undetectable spies with cybernetic implants and solar-powered guidance systems. They can be controlled remotely or operate autonomously using AI. They've created remote-controlled rats. DARPA trains bees to find land mines. They're developing claytronics, programmable shape-shifting matter. They're developing nuclear-powered spacecraft, autonomous vehicles, and weapons of all kinds. DARPA's technology is meant to keep people off the battlefield. Why risk a battalion of human soldiers when you can deploy a fleet of drones? But sometimes you need boots on the ground, and that means people with guns. But DARPA has a better idea. Don't give a soldier a weapon, turn him into one. The human body is an amazing machine. Our musculoskeletal system allows us to do gymnastics, lift heavy weights, and walk long distances. Still, our bodies have limitations. DARPA is developing technology to overcome these limitations. The goal is to increase strength, endurance, alertness, and the overall health of soldiers. DARPA's Warrior Web project is one of several exoskeleton programs in the works. It's an exosuit, lightweight and flexible, similar to a scuba suit. But this is a smart suit. Using machine learning and onboard sensors, the suit knows when and where to firm up to augment muscles. It performs its function and becomes flexible again. DARPA has also developed hard exoskeletons, just like you've seen in movies like Aliens and Edge of Tomorrow. These exoskeletons not only increase strength and endurance, but they're modular. They can be equipped with all kinds of
Kyle, if you want to travel faster and safer, keep an eye out for any abandoned Fort Service cars. Most are still operational.
And weaponized. It increases strength.
If you run out of gas, other cars and gas stations can help with that.
Vital signs and has sensors that optimize the Tactical Augmented Reality, or TAR project, is a headset that overlays information over your normal vision. This gives soldiers real-time information like maps, enemy locations, and other DARPA is creating a material that would let soldiers climb walls without ropes or ladders. Now, everyone knows the Air Force gives their pilots amphetamines.
I feel the need for speed.
The need for speed. Yep. They literally take illegal narcotics to stay alert. But the Continuous Assisted Performance, or CAP program, is focused on keeping soldiers awake, alert while defending, for up to 7 days straight without side effects.
Help me, help me. They're gonna fucking kill me! I don't care! Help, help, Sam, they're gonna get me, Sam!
CRISPR could accelerate healing. Injuries that might have sidelined soldiers for weeks or months could heal in days. CRISPR technology has already sparked a revolution in medicine, with the potential to cure genetic disorders and even combat aging.
Link below and how CRISPR AI.
Let me wait till morning.
Yeah, that episode is scary, but it's interesting and it's real. Now, some of these projects have failed, and some haven't, and some are still in development. I have no doubt that DARPA will turn soldiers into superhuman weapons.
What are you up to?
But they haven't yet. So how do you put boots on the ground and keep humans off the battlefield? DARPA's answer? Killer robots. DARPA started working on robotics in the 1960s.
Chillin' watching
The first
Candyman.
project was Shaky, the first mobile robot to reach
Newer one or the older ones?
Shaky wasn't sleek or fast, but it was a start.
You know, so I feel like if you name your
Just watched
project
Cleo.
Shaky, you're kind of setting yourself up to fail.
Well, since then, DARPA's robotics has come a long way. In the early
Joe.
2000s, DARPA launched the Big Dog program.
The first
In
and second haven't seen the new
partnership with
Candyman
Boston
yet.
Dynamics, these
The new one's pretty
robots
good.
can carry heavy loads and navigate difficult terrain. They can also be outfitted with weapons like sniper rifles or machine guns. The LS-3 can follow soldiers autonomously and carry up to
Tell me about
400
yourself.
pounds of gear. And then there's the Atlas robot. And now
Stop,
we're getting
Jasmine.
serious. Atlas was launched in 2013, and you've probably seen various versions of this robot over the years. Atlas could run, jump, and navigate obstacle courses. A couple of years ago, Atlas used AI to teach itself how to walk, and then run, and then do gymnastics.
You humans realize it's only a matter of time before these things take over and enslave you, right?
Some of us realize it. Investigative journalist Annie Jacobson has covered DARPA for
Yo, yo, yo.
years. She says
Yo,
there's no
yo,
doubt
yo.
that the
What it
Pentagon
is, Zerk?
investing heavily in robotics. DARPA's plan through 2038 states without question that the Pentagon is moving towards robotic warfare. They want to have
What's up?
killer drones that can swim,
What's up?
crawl, walk, run. Drones that can fly
Zerk, is her name really Nathan?
13,000 miles an hour,
Yeah.
which is 22 times faster. To get to a target really quickly.
Input relaxing.
Ballistic missiles have limitations. Speeds over Mach 20 require too much power and make the rockets dangerous to fly. Thanks to DARPA, that's no longer allowed. Missiles can travel at hypersonic speed without overheating. A target 500 miles away can be destroyed in 6 minutes.
Alright, so let's try to get there now that it's not nighttime and we're not going to be chased by those fucking night hunters zombies. Those things are brutal.
Creating the technology to wage war. Remember how DARPA is always about 20 years ahead of civilian technology? As early as the 1960s, DARPA started developing computers that could learn independently. In the 1980s, DARPA launched the Strategic Computing Initiative, or SCI. The goal of SCI was to create military strategies by running simulations and learning from them.
You're describing war games.
War Games was originally going to be a science fiction. Genius. But the designers named Peter Schwartz released a research
This night sucks, huh?
SCI has been a launch pad for many secret was fascinated by a new computer subculture called hackers. He suggested that they make a movie about a kid hacking a military.
What are you looking at, Jazz?
Oh, yeah. It was called the Big Mac.
No, Whopper. War Operation Plan Response.
Oh, right. I'd still rather have a Big Mac.
Me too.
Jasmine. Jasmine, hey. What are you doing?
At the very same time that this movie came
Is that
out,
South Park in the background,
DARPA
lol?
was working on
What
No.
games do you play?
military supercomputer. Here's how they described it.
It's Y-Files. My favorite YouTube channel. Hey, Afterlord, how are you tonight? Nice to see you. Right? Jasmine, what are you barking at? There's nothing out there. Jasmine, you're looking at your own fucking reflection, weirdo.
It's everywhere and accessible to everyone. And it feels like it came
That's you,
Jasmine
Jasmine.
sees dead people.
out of DARPA.
No, she's seeing herself.
As of today, 70% of DARPA's projects use or are focused on AI and machine learning. DARPA started working on AI in the 1960s.
What'd you do today,
The
Axe?
first AI system, a speech recognition computer, in the 1970s. In 1983, the Strategic Computer
That's what I'm calling you for short, Afterlord.
received billions
Axe.
for AI research.
Let's
In the
go.
1990s, DARPA launched the DARPA supercomputing project. It was.
I'm so glad to finally be out of that shit.
It's affecting you
I was
right
stuck
now.
in there.
And once I tell you what it is, now it's time to get this video demonetized and censored.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and if I'm not on a list by now, I'm about to be.
No, they're watching you, human.
Yeah, I really don't want to talk about this. Honestly, I'm about to put everything that I have at risk.
You're actually scaring me right now.
I'm scared too.
Fuck. Let's gonna get all the zombies coming.
I just remembered.
Far Cry is a really good game. I love Far Cry.
The early 1990s was the beginning of the tech boom. Internet startups were finance and investments.
Ow, you big boy.
Vast amounts of data, personal data. The intelligence community wanted to gather this data to create a digital fingerprint of everyone using the internet. If they could identify bad actors,
Way too
criminals,
much, my
terrorists,
friend.
whatever, they would compare that fingerprint against others. They called this the birds of a feather approach. If Joe's a bad guy and Bob's a bad guy, they go to certain websites.
Crazy bitch.
And those same websites are potential bad guys, so let's track them. Yes.
Legal?
No. Well, officially illegal as of 2010. But the law was murky in the 1990s.
These fucking explosions are just gonna keep calling more zombies over here.
Opportunity. You can't drop by an internet startup and ask them to build you an illegal digital surveillance program.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad look.
It is. But it also gives away the game.
Okay. I think we're going the right way.
Target doesn't know they're being watched. So this
Yeah, it's way better than the weapon I was using, for show.
So in 1994, the Highlands Forum was founded. Ever hear of the Highlands Forum? You probably haven't. And they like it that way. Highlands Forum has the between technology companies and the Pentagon.
I'm coming!
The Highlands Forum is an invitation-only group of
Where are you?
officials, academics, and executives from tech and defense companies. Their discussions are private and off the record.
Oh shit, you guys are fucked. You're okay, buddy.
So, tech is booming, data is flowing, and we've got our think tank to connect us with the people capturing the data. Now we need the money to fund them.
Thought I was a goner.
That same year, the Massive Digital Data Systems, or NDDS program, was
You're
launched.
welcome.
NDDS would fund scientists, researchers, and companies who worked with big data sets. The Highlands Forum would help identify, facilitate, and coordinate these transactions.
He got lucky. I fucking cracked out into a zombie.
The NDDS.
I don't fucking care. I turned off the goddamn fucking offline mode. Stop fucking telling me.
Were getting millions in grants from the NSF. Totally normal. They didn't know.
I don't care. I'm not trying to play this shit online.
It was highly compartmentalized. It had tons of projects.
Off. Off.
You knew what anyone else was doing.
Off.
Who was even in charge. And this was by design. But the overall program was...
No more fucking online. Bullshit. Fuck you. Stop.
So, we've got black budget money flowing through the NSF. And we've got
I don't like playing online games.
Highlands Forum looking for opportunities. So the word goes out to researchers and academia. If you can handle big data, we'll give you big money. Then, a promising project emerged. 2 Stanford graduate students working on a search engine.
Oh shit.
In the early 90s, searching the internet was difficult. Popular engines like Alta Vista and Lycos produced hit-focused results. Searching hiking gear would show pages of hiking, often irrelevant blog posts or articles. Users had to scroll through pages of useless results.
Leave me alone, zombie.
I remember it well. 2 Stanford students developed a system that checked everything. Their automated web crawling system identified a web page's context, not just the text. Then, pages were ranked based on relevance to specific queries. Pages actually discussing hiking gear would rank higher for that query. High traffic pages and pages with lots of incoming links ranked even higher. These were signals to the algorithm that a page was a good match for that query. Using this search engine felt like magic. Usually the first or second result was exactly what you were looking for. Somehow, it knew. The system used an optimization technique called association rule mining, or query flocks. This assumes birds of a feather stick together. People searching specific keywords tended to click the same result. Query flocks.
I saw this video
The search engine
of this
learned
person who went to this other person's house to like buy an axe from them on Facebook Marketplace. But then suddenly, out of nowhere, the dude who was buying the axe axed the person in the head he was buying it from.
The more you used the search engine, the more it learned about you. So your searches always gave you relevant results. Using information you willingly provided, these students had developed a method to create your digital fingerprint. Jackpot. The CIA, NSA, and DARPA learned about this project after the National Science Foundation, or NDDS. If you haven't guessed by now, those 2 students were Sergey Brin and Larry Page, and the search engine was Google.
Yep, it was pretty terrible.
You won't find MDDS in Google's origin story, but this is public unclassified information that's just hard to find. In Brin and Page's famous 1998 research paper, The Anatomy of a Large-Scale Hypertextual Web Search Engine, they thanked DARPA for their support. You can see this for yourself. It's on page 16, section 7, under Acknowledgements. Now, there's a lot more to this rabbit hole. The connection between intelligence agencies and technology companies is so...
Hang on.
What?
Pop quiz.
Go ahead.
So down here is where I got killed before, huh?
Who owns YouTube? Right. Bye-bye, channel. Now would be a good time to ask the Patreon support.
I don't disclose until the end of the episode.
Not exception, but we're in the deep water now.
He might be right. Truly and honestly, I won't know until it's too late. Today, the story might have been a terrible mistake. So yes, please go to patreon.com/thewatfiles. I don't know if we will, but we might need your help. Anyway, this video isn't about Google. It's about DARPA. Specifically, the dark side of DARPA. And it's about to get a whole lot darker. John F. Kennedy took office in 1961, America had allies everywhere. Cuba, Ethiopia, Nicaragua, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Iran, Lebanon, and many others. But the Soviet Union was fueling insurrections against U.S.-friendly governments. Kennedy promised to stop the spread of communism, but the Soviets were pouring billions into military technology, rocket missile systems, even space exploration. JFK was committed to keeping pace. He wanted more resources in science and technology. He modernized the military and doubled our budget. The Cold War had evolved into regional wars, a type of warfare was being called guerrilla warfare. That worked. The situation in Vietnam was especially bad. The
Where did that happen from? How did that occur?
Project Agile was pitched to Kennedy as both a scientific and military endeavor. Kennedy signed off immediately. The first phase was called Operation Ranch Hand. Its purpose was to clear the jungle. DARPA developed the rainbow herbicides, named for their container colors, to kill the foliage. Agent herbicides and green. Combining different herbicides, and toxins, looking for the perfect formula to destroy Viet Cong cover. Agent Orange was the winner. Millions of gallons of Agent Orange were sprayed over miles of jungle every day. Leaves fell from trees almost immediately. Another application, and the trees died. Next, Project Agile targeted farms. Agent Orange could destroy miles of crops in a day. They asked South Vietnamese President Diem if he knew which farms were Viet Cong and which belonged to innocent civilians.
That is a weird-ass poster,
care.
huh?
If they weren't traitors yet, they would be soon. Kill them all. Now, the U.S. didn't want to do this, but it only had a few hundred military advisors in Vietnam at this time. They didn't want to send more. Better to sacrifice North Vietnamese farmers than U.S. Marines. So it was done. Guilty or innocent, friend or foe, if you were a North Vietnamese farmer, you were targeted. Your crops were destroyed and your soil was poisoned. Replanting was impossible. Agent Orange's effects were instant and devastating. And nobody knew it was only the beginning. As the Vietnam War escalated, so did the use of Agent Orange under DARPA's Project Agile. Project Agile used other tactics. DARPA contractors used social science and human psychology. Propaganda spread through leaflets, loudspeakers, and media control. Subliminal technology kept people in heightened emotional states, from minor discomfort to absolute terror.
Subliminal warfare, mind control link down the alley, Sally.
Psychological warfare teams targeted villages, turning neighbor against neighbor. Civilians were forced into strategic hamlets for their safety. 4 million people were relocated against their will. Meanwhile, soldiers complained of headaches, nausea, stinging eyes, and rashes. Agent Orange didn't want to clear jungle and feed crops. It tortured people for life. Thousands exposed to Agent Orange developed cancer. Children were born with defects. Agent Orange caused reproductive problems like infertility and miscarriages. Heart disease and diabetes increased. Agent Orange was first used in 1962. In 1965, a study proved that dioxin causes birth defects, even at low concentrations. They kept using it.
Have I ever flown in your dreams? Yeah, I have. You were a Vietnamese farmer, were you? We're watching an episode on the Y-Files about the darkest things about the CIA. Fuck off, bitch.
Have
you ever flown in your dreams?
prevention and herbicides.
Sometimes I've had dreams where I think I'm drowning. I'm underwater, and I'm afraid I'm going to drown. And then it gets to the point where I've got no choice but to breathe in, and when I do, I can breathe just fine under the water. Like it's air.
Chemical is the company's name. So it's using Agent Orange. No. The United States said Agent Orange wasn't a chemical. It was herbicide.
Oh yeah, when you have a lucid dream about it, that's the best.
In 1949, the Geneva Conventions established that civilians and their property must not be
Who in the fuck hit them with electricity?
combatants and military targets were allowed. The U.S. signed this treaty, but civilians and their farms were intentionally targeting Agent Orange, so it's using it a war crime. No. The United States said the intent was to disrupt the enemy's logistical support and visibility, not cause direct damage. In other words, the United States is carrying out the destruction of plants and trees on civilian land. Those weren't military targets. They were visible targets. No. The United States said it was military assassinate people in the airport.
Well, fuck.
Civilian protection. The U.S. signed this new treaty, but still denied any liability.
That one's pretty easy. You've never had that one?
However,
It's actually, you feel overwhelmed when it's happening, but then when it happens, you feel a lot of relief.
the settlement was to support veterans, not an admission of guilt. In 2004, Jill Montgomery, speaking for the Monsanto Company, one of the major suppliers of Agent Orange, she set the record straight.
We're sympathetic with people who believe they've been injured and understand their concern to find the cause. But reliable scientific evidence indicates that Agent Orange is not the cause of serious long-term health effects.
In 1991, finally the VA started providing benefits to vets exposed to Agent Orange. But the U.S. still denies liability. My father-in-law served in Vietnam. He was exposed to Agent Orange.
Yeah, we are partial zombie right now.
So I won't list the illnesses.
The character from the first Dying Light game, as soon as you start it, gets infected with the zombie virus, and we are that character in this game.
The government kept its word. He did receive his benefits. In 2021, it took 30 years. Like so many vets, when his country needed him, he didn't hesitate. But when he needed his country,
it just happens. So on the left, where you see my HP bar, the white one, there's a red one underneath it. That red one fills up as I do stuff and get hurt. And when that goes all the way full, it forces me into that state. But soon I'll have an upgrade where I can control me going into that state or not.
7 million people were deployed to Vietnam. 58,000 dead, 300,000 wounded, 3,000 missing or prisoners of war, 1,500 still missing.
The fuck are you?
The VA estimates 300,000 to 400,000 veterans may have died from illnesses caused by the exposure to Agent Orange. May have. To this day,
Break Knuckles rare blueprint.
no
Nice.
single person, agency, company, or government has admitted
What do you guys think those
wrongdoing or
nuts
assumed
do?
any liability for the millions of lives destroyed by Agent Orange. Now, ordinary
My
people like us
pleasure.
have so many rules we have to follow.
I would absolutely
Don't
recommend the
speed.
Dying Light
Check
games.
grandma's shoes before she gets on a plane. Pay your taxes even though we're going to steal it and waste your money. Pick up a gun. Shoot at those people. Do what you're told. If we break the law, seize our property, force us into labor, or lock us in a cell. It all depends on the crime. So, you follow the law. But if you're a big chemical company or a government agency, don't worry about the law. You can get away with murder. I need a minute. The story of DARPA is hard to debunk, and that's because most of it's true. What we know about DARPA's projects come from them. Their websites and official YouTube channel openly share information. They have a podcast called Voices of DARPA. Even the experts in covering DARPA, Annie Jacobson and Sharon Weinberger, get their information from the agency they're writing about. When Jacobson gives a speech, writes a book, or gives an interview about DARPA, she's not sharing classified information. She's not saying the agency reporting. She never claims to know anything that we can't find out ourselves.
Hey!
It's secret. What we know about DARPA is what they want us to know. There's no transparency. Nothing. Also, DARPA is exempt from laws that other government agencies have to follow, specifically about hiring practices, managing personnel, and managing budgets. They can run the agency however they like. DARPA is only 220 people. That's it. With a budget of almost $4 billion. Now, that's a lot of freedom and power, but it's much more than that. DARPA is allowed to fund projects through what's called other transactions. No congressional no reporting required. Choose the projects you want to fund and fund them.
I got fucked up.
Annie Jacobson gives us an unsettling answer.
Is that the individuals who are responsible for deciding what weapon systems are being financed and created in these classified DARPA programs are the very CEOs of defense contractors who stand to financially benefit from these contracts.
Annie Jacobson has said that DARPA is the agency driving the military-industrial complex. That agency is run by the companies that profit from the technology they create. This is exactly what President Eisenhower said would happen. If you make war profitable, you'll always have war. But to be fair, DARPA's innovations have made our lives better. Not just because of cell phones and GPS. DARPA's achievements in prosthetics have allowed paralyzed children to walk again. They've created medical techniques to diagnose illnesses earlier. They've bioengineered tissue and organs that can be used for transplants. They've developed tools that can stabilize injured people in emergency situations. Advanced medical imaging such as ultrasound, MRI, and brain imaging, all created by or alongside DARPA. Now, does the good outweigh the bad? Do DARPA's contributions offset the damage they've done?
Did I just create a safe house?
But this story reminds me of the courtroom scene.
Hey, I did make a safe zone.
Right. When the colonel says, my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible
now I have a bed.
Saves lives.
You don't want the truth because deep
And a
down in
stash.
places you don't talk about it, cuz.
We're good. Continue on our path to the first floor.
You need me on that wall.
Right. So is DARPA a necessary evil? Is evil even the right word? I don't know. When DARPA was formed in 1958, its mission was to make sure the United States was never again surprised by advanced technology. And for 66 years, DARPA has succeeded in its mission. The U.S. has never been surprised by technology.
Except for UFOs.
Okay, the U.S. has never been surprised by another country's technology.
Better.
I can't forget all the suffering that DARPA has caused. But DARPA's done so much good, and I forgive. I don't know. I'm disgusted by some of DARPA's actions, by our government's corruption, by the fact that, because of DARPA, bad people get rich from a war. But if I'm being honest, which I always am with you, I have to acknowledge that, as an American, we need DARPA on that wall. So just to follow up on that Sean Ryan clip, the very day I did his show and told him about that episode, he connected me with someone to help my father-in-law get all his benefits. That day, without me asking for help, just suddenly got a text. You know, call this number and you'll be taken care of. Because Sean is about as good of a guy as you'll find. And when I say good, I don't mean, yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, he's a force for good in the world. And look, I know he's controversial for some people, but I met the man in person. I spent the whole day with him. And he and his whole staff, his whole team, everybody there was gracious, kind, very complimentary. They're all fans of the channel. We had some great talks and debates about the moon landing and flat earth and all that stuff. I had a great day with the whole crew. So Sean Ryan is the real deal. Plus, I've been around shooters my whole life. I've never seen anyone shoot like that. Anyway. Checking the notes. Okay. Oh, boy. We're going to keep it going with the dangerous topics. This next one is another one that was uncomfortable releasing.
Okay, I think I got the thing that if I land and press X, I won't get hurt.
The inventors that, like the hydrogen car guy, he said he was poisoned.
Oh shit, I survived. I got hurt. I didn't do it right.
To like finally take his car ran on water. This is Stanley Meyer. And he's not feeling well, and he runs outside. He's like throwing up in the street. His brother was his partner. And what's going on? He's like, I was poisoned, and then he dies. And that was the end of it. No more water car. Killer patents. The end of this one went viral. See you in a minute. For decades, we've heard about the catastrophic effects of fossil fuel pollution. And for just as long, I've been hearing that global warming is a myth. The two sides are constantly at each other's throats. But it's a fight that's completely unnecessary. The technology to create unlimited, clean, free energy has existed for over 100 years. Dozens, perhaps hundreds of inventors have created machines that pull energy out of thin air. Machines that could defy gravity, levitate, and fly. Machines that bend the fabric of space-time itself. These machines sound not just like science fiction, they sound like magic. So where are these magical devices? Well, when the inventors patented and publicized their technology, they performed another magic trick. They disappeared. At some point, the ice caps will melt, the oceans will rise, and every coastline in the world will be underwater. What now?
Well, when does it happen? When do we go underwater?
Well, that's hard to...
5 years, 20, 50.
You can't really quantify...
No, you can't quantify that.
Look, I don't...
Is Florida still here? Let me talk slowly so you can understand. Is Florida still there?
Last I checked, Florida is still there.
Thank you. I rest my case. Global warming is a myth.
It's not a myth. Look, this is how we feel about climate change.
Oh, look, global warming is not climate change.
My point is...
How dare you?
You want clean air?
Clean air? No, who cares?
Fine. But you want clean water?
Well, yeah.
Right. The point of this episode isn't to argue one side of the climate debate or the other. The point of this episode is that debating, arguing, and fighting about it isn't necessary, and hasn't been for over 100 years. Since the 1920s, and perhaps even earlier, scientists have discovered ways of making energy less expensive and more efficient. Their technology was suppressed. And in many cases, the inventors died under strange circumstances.
Okay, you've got my attention now.
Charles Pogue was a Canadian mechanic and car tinkerer. In the early 1930s, he started experimenting with carburetors, trying to improve fuel efficiency. Now, if you're not a gear nerd, a carburetor is a part of the gas power engine that mixes air and fuel for combustion, which is in cylinders or it's ignited to power the engine. Now, unlike traditional carburetors, which mix air the Pogue carburetor only vaporized gas before it entered the combustion chamber. This made the engine more efficient, much more efficient. In 1936, Pogue issued a patent for a high-pressure this is the third generation. In early 1936, the motor company tested the carburetor on the it got 26 miles worth of hydrogen gas. That's almost 220 miles per gallon. More testing, it got 200 miles per gallon.
Wow.
The Pogue carburetor was tested for Canadian Automotive Magazine. They reported 218 miles per gallon.
You fuck.
Brokers were swapping orders of all world stock immediately. So you don't know what the Pogue shop was broken into. inventors are in competition. If one man figures out how to make an engine more, others can do the same. But the oil companies did not forget about
Fucking
pollution and
zombies.
damage it almost caused. Fuel-efficient engines were not good for business, so the oil companies lobbied the U.S. government for help. And a few years later, in 1951, help arrived. The concept of patents can be traced back to ancient times, but the formal patent system that we know today came from Renaissance Europe. The first known patent law was enacted in Venice in 1474, and it was a revolutionary idea designed to encourage innovation. It offered inventors a temporary monopoly in exchange for sharing their inventions with society. But some inventions are legally patented and hidden from society. In 1951, the United States passed the Invention Secrecy Act. This allows the U.S. government to keep certain technologies and inventions secret legally. If they decide something threatens the country's economy or security, it's stamped with a secrecy order and classified. The inventor can't speak about it, export it, or sell it unless it's to the U.S. military.
Yeah, of course.
If the inventor violates these orders, they face imprisonment or, as we're about to see, consequences that are even worse. In the 1970s, Tom Ogle accidentally discovered a way to make an engine run on its own fumes.
I was messing around with a lawnmower when I accidentally knocked a hole in its fuel tank. I put a vacuum line running from the tank straight into the carburetor inlet. I just let it run, and it kept running and running, but the fuel level stayed the same. I got excited. The lawnmower was running without a carburetor, and was getting tremendous efficiency.
That mower ran
Where the fuck are these
96
cards?
straight hours.
Whoa!
After a few months of trial and error, Ogle replicated his invention.
So many people
with his
cheating on
own
Gears of
car.
War with modded controllers.
His 1970 Ford Galaxy
How?
got 11 miles per gallon.
What are they
But
doing that's
after
cheating?
modifications, it got 100 miles per gallon. In April 1977, Ogle drove the 4,000-pound car 205 miles on just 2 gallons of gas. Engineers inspected the car for hidden gas tanks and other gimmicks, but nothing was found. His technology worked. Ogle made the internal combustion engine do what it was designed to do, operate on fumes. He accidentally invented a version of Poe's car. Overnight, 24-year-old Tom became an engineering sensation. Oil companies, investors, approached him with offers. People expected him to become a billionaire. Shell Oil offered him $25 million cash for the design. Ogle passed when he found out they intended to hide the invention.
Something tells me they
forever.
didn't stop here just to stretch their
I've
legs.
always wanted to be rich, and I suspect I will be when this system gets into distribution. But I'm not going to have my system bought up and put on the shelf.
So Tom struck deals with investors who would let him control the invention and keep working. He
They are putting promise in their controllers, a wall bang shotgun like auto aim. This dude almost got a 120 kills in one game.
God damn.
Then the United States Air Force showed interest. Uh-oh. That's when things went downhill.
Downhill, huh?
Yep.
Fuck. What a massacre.
Suddenly the SEC was after him for violating security laws. The IRS was after him for failing to pay back taxes. The next few months, Ogle's wife left him and took their daughter. Legal battles were everywhere. Investors were fighting for control of the land. On April 14th,
I just bashed that woman's tit off. Did you see that?
outside a bar. No suspect. But he survived.
And not for long?
No, not for long. On August 18th, he went to a friend's apartment where he collapsed and died. His death, which involved painkillers and alcohol, was ruled an accidental overdose. Though Tom Ogle had no history of drug use. Ogle's friends, family, and attorney claimed this was a cover-up for murder. But the damage was done. Tom Ogle was gone, and his invention,
Dude, I invited you 5x.
overwhelming evidence that
I
it
believe in
worked,
you.
was
You are the
What?
cosmos experiencing itself as a human being.
Oh, hi,
The
Brother
You are more
James.
powerful than you
US and
realize.
Saudi Arabia negotiated the United States and Saudi Arabian Joint Commission on Economic Cooperation.
Let me
And
join.
agreed to use US dollars for oil contracts. The petrodollar became the de facto currency of the world that day. This made the U.S. government much more powerful and made oil companies richer than ever. A few years later, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Brown, a former member of Project Blue Book, made a similar invention.
Hello,
He
sir.
created a device that attached to the air intake of a vehicle, reducing emissions by 50 to 70%, and increasing miles per gallon.
What'd you do?
Treat air and out of air.
Nothing much.
More than just providing oxygen for the combustion process.
What do they want me to find here?
Stimulating molecules and radicals generated in this process. Thunderstorm in a bottle.
Even though the Colonel's invention reduced emissions and cleaned the air, the EPA shut him down.
Environmental Protection Agency is a bit of a dictatorial police agency. They call themselves a protective agency, but they are a police agency.
Dude's dead.
EPA cannot approve a fuel-saving device.
Olivia, you were right. I found the bear.
You were right, Olivia.
Whatever they were moving, it's gone.
Something will not work.
Gone. You mean it's escaped?
Soon after, he
Yeah,
received
but
bomb
not
threats.
before slaughtering every
His
single
lab
one of them.
was vandalized and everything
Poor
was
fuckers
stolen.
never stood a
He lost
chance.
his life savings,
Do you think
and
you
his
can
work
crack it?
was stopped.
I can try.
When Charles
The
Paul
blood
and
trail
Tom
leads into
Ogle,
the swamps.
Colonel Brown
Someone
took
sent
his
me a
technology
$200 tip on
territory.
OnlyFans today.
These
You want me to be
inventions
careful, or do you want me to find it?
gasoline and oil.
I want you to find it.
Necessarily threaten
Exactly.
the fossil fuel
I'll keep you
industry.
posted.
Yet the government or someone still shut them down. So you can only imagine what happens when you invent a car that doesn't need gas at all.
Water. To the quarter pipe.
Stanley Meyer did not keep his invention secret. He went straight to the news. His announcement made headlines across the country and around the world. He had invented a car that could run on nothing but water.
I don't fucking care, game. Why do you keep telling me this shit?
Electricity to split water into oxygen and hydrogen gas.
I turned off everything to do with online. I don't want it online. Stop fucking telling me it's not online.
Electricity from water.
It keeps stopping and pausing and telling me you're not online. I don't give a fuck. I turned it off online, put it on private. I don't want it online. Stop.
That could split water into oxygen and hydrogen. But there are a few problems. The process requires a lot of energy. And it requires perfectly pure water.
If it tells me again I'm turning off the game, I'm deleting it.
Has nothing but H2O. It's very hard to produce pure water. Not only do you
It's told me 100 times in fucking less than an hour.
lots of it. Stanley Meyer's engine didn't require much water at all. Stan estimated that if he took his water
In a year when all the bugs are fixed, then I'll play it.
we use only 22 gallons of water. And the biggest breakthrough, it didn't need
The thing that keeps pausing my game in the middle of gameplay is really fucking annoying.
That's crazy.
Yours doesn't stop and tell you you're not online.
hydrogen gas. He took his
No.
car on tour around the country. Engineers inspected it and they said it worked.
I don't think I experienced one crash or glitch in that game yet. So once I found out it's only an 8-hour game, I fucking was like, yeah, I want to save it. I'm not gonna play it as much as I wanted to.
Yeah, this should have remained DLC for regular Dying Light. This should have not been a standalone game. I'm glad I got it free.
Oh yeah. Fun, I just don't want to beat it in a day.
Became violently ill. He ran out of the restaurant, fell down in the street, and started vomiting. His brother ran after him. Stan's final words were, "They poisoned me."
I don't like the way the zombie's head split open from the center and like flower open. I think that was really dumb.
Yeah, there's one breaking head animation that I don't like. Where half the skull is all the way to the right and it looks like an explosion happened.
Yeah.
But I like the one that shows the brain.
Give the zombie the good old
I
key.
like the one when
CK
you
grip lol squeeze it lol like the viral video.
shatter off half their jaw.
Yeah, I really just wish they fucking took the exact flesh animations from fucking Dead Island.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Even in my prior development of high technology, I've had patents taken from me. I learned those school hard knocks to be very cautious.
He was paranoid, and rightfully so. That's why if you try to replicate the technology in Stan Meyer's patent, it won't work. He faked the voltage and frequency numbers to prevent another invention from being stolen or classified. But skeptics say it doesn't matter what numbers you use, the engine will work.
If this game had that flesh mechanics and that game fucking weapons, holy shit.
Didn't waste energy at all. It created it. That also violates conservation.
I can definitely see the game going in an online type of game only.
It ran on nothing. The vacuum of space is supposed to be empty, and at the temperature of absolute zero, it should be perfectly still. But quantum physicists discovered
Someone joined me last night and totally saved my ass in dying ways.
Did they?
Yeah. I still had only died that one time, and fucking I was about to die, and this motherfucker came right at the second I needed him.
Lucky. Of course, nighttime's coming.
Guess I better get to that island.
Some kid from fucking Virginia, smoking ghosts.
Smoking ghosts. After Lord. Oh shit, I'm on a foggy island.
You showed me this fucking cool area to get this weapon, but I can't fucking do it without him.
Why?
There's just too many zombies.
This energy is called zero-point energy. And it's generated from the zero-point field. Nikola Tesla, Nikolai Kozyrev, and other scientists...
The game specifically tells you, do not try to kill all the zombies.
The ether is a field in which everything exists. But it exists in
What the hell?
You cannot do this. Don't even try.
Have to be coming from and going somewhere. That place is the ether, the base layer of the atom. But even though
We're going to.
this layer can be
Bow with the bow with the bang, the bang,
Tesla famously said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy and vibration.
Shit!
He tried to using the tower he built on an island.
Here we go.
and boom.
The Tesla's reporting left power tapped into this endless device. An overunit
Okay.
something gives out more energy than
Quest failed.
Now, mainstream science claims this is impossible. Again, because it breaks the second law of thermodynamics.
Oh, there was one glitch that I experienced. The fucking... It got me stuck in a mission, because I was supposed to clear out these dudes. And after I killed them, their little yellow circle never went away.
Yeah.
So it was just keeping me in the mission indefinitely. And I tried to kill myself, that didn't work. I tried to fucking leave the mission area, it respawned me, and it didn't fix it.
This morning, the whole game stream, I was trapped in the fucking town square in the first fucking building where you go and talk to that black guy.
Yeah.
It wouldn't let me leave. The mission to go out the door wouldn't open. The guy wouldn't talk to me. There was nothing to fucking activate. I ran all over the place. I tried to climb back out of the roof. Everything was locked and just kept me trapped inside of that fucking building.
Is it when the guy is standing at the door and there's a fucking... Like he's acting like he's fixing the door, but it says you have to go out that door?
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally...
I had to turn off the game and turn it back on, and then it changed the marker to a different spot, and then I can get out.
Yeah, no, it didn't change the marker for me. I literally had to climb fucking through the fucking tower and come out the fucking stained glass window. And when I finally got outside and went back in, that guy was gone. And there was no table in front of the door anymore.
Oh shit.
Yay, I thought it was a bug or something, so resetting the game did in fact work.
Yeah, resetting the game did in fact work.
There's no feature where it's like, kill yourself.
Nope.
I haven't had to yet, but I imagine, like, with the game being this new, you can definitely get stuck.
Bitch.
What am I supposed to do here?
Where the fuck did you hit me from? Oh, you're fucked now, buddy. Alright, that's it. It's leaving the game. It just did it again. Sorry, stream it over, guys.
Was tested and verified by multiple sites.